Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing another journaling video and sharing a journal process in my Japan travel journal. So if you've been on my channel before, you'll know that this is a journal that I'm really trying to finish. We did our trip to Japan 3 years ago now, so I'm definitely behind in finishing this one, but like I talked about in the video where I did the previous spread, I'm just focusing on finishing it rather than worrying about being behind. I know I will get to finish it and I'm really looking forward to seeing a really full journal, but I'm also really enjoying creating here and using all the ephemera and lovely bits that I got, so I'm just making it more of a priority this year and I hope you enjoy watching it today. So I'm just going through my box, which is all my little bits and pieces that are dedicated just to this Japan journal. I'm sharing a few bits here that my sister brought back for me, so she's just been to Japan again. We went together with our partners 3 years ago and she's just been back again, so I'm very jealous, but she very kindly picked up some bits for me, including these 3 memo pads with these sweet designs. And I want to use some of these bits in this journal, as well as using them in my daily journaling, which is something that I do on my Hobonichi but don't share on this channel. So these pieces are always really handy for writing notes and things onto the page. I've taken out a few random scraps of papers as well, and I'm also sharing these stickers which our friend Jack brought back when he came back from Japan last year. And these are just really fun, and I wanted to make sure that I've got those readily available on the desk so I can just grab those and stick them on if needed, as well as little bits like ephemera that again my sister brought back. Obviously I still have loads from our original 2020 trip, but it's really handy to have bits like this. I use them for like background elements and kind of as a base. I find it a little bit less daunting than a blank page. And she knows I love ephemera and paper bits like this, so she brought me back a huge amount, which was really kind of her, and I'm looking forward to digging in, cutting these up and putting them in my journal. So I think we're almost halfway through in this journal now, and I have sped it up just to make this a bit of a quicker video, but I do 2 spreads in this one rather than the usual one, simply because, like I said, I am trying to finish it and I want to share the process with all of you. So I'm going through some of the bits, the larger elements here. I tend to go through the larger elements first because I find it easier to work with that and then work my way down in terms of smaller bits to stick on top. So I'm trying to find a colour scheme that works. I did like that little piece of milky packaging, which is a sweet brand over there, but it didn't really go with what I was trying to do on this page. I've mentioned before that I don't generally do it day by day. I don't do it in order at all. This is just the first selection of photos that I printed from our trip, and there was obviously took so many, but I just printed a selection, and so that's what I'm working with, but soon I will need to print some more. And for this theme I'm doing it based around shopping, so obviously I have a lot of receipts, and so you can see I've put a Daiso one up there as like a background thing. And using some of the photos that I took from inside the stores, so we went to Don Quixote, we went to Daiso a lot, we went to a lot of shops around. I mean, there's so many shops in Tokyo that it's impossible not to, but we were just amazed how many floors they all had, and we definitely enjoyed our time there, and I love to see all their stationery and all of their amazing things that you can buy out there. So that's what I wanted this spread to be about, and I might do another spread later on depending on the photos I've got. I want this journal to be really free. I don't want it to be really rigid, and I just want to go with the flow with it, and I think that's why I'm enjoying it so much. I'm not giving myself rules of doing it in order or doing it day by day, so I think that's definitely helping with my enjoyment. You can see I just used a stamp pad there, which was a Sashihata stamp pad that my sister brought back from Japan. I asked her to get that for me over there because I was really intrigued by the way that there's multiple colours in there. And the piece of paper I've put that on top was an old Project Life journaling card, but I thought it kind of looked like an old style receipt or like a library card, so I thought that worked well, and then I put some of the meatball PET tape down at the bottom, kind of symbolising me and my sister buying all of the things. Now I'm just trying to work out how to lay out the right hand page. This paper is from a paper pack that I bought in Daiso whilst we were there, And I haven't actually used any from here so far in this journal because they are quite bold, but I thought it was just beautiful. So I know I want to use it, but I just didn't think it was right for this spread. I think it was too busy. And I really wanted to use that yellow envelope. This was from some of the pieces that my sister brought back, and I was just really summery, and I really wanted to make that work on the page, just to add a pop of colour because it was quite muted at this point, and this whole journal is full of colour and joy, and I wanted to add a bit more life to this spread. So I spend a lot of time here trying to work out the best layout. I've got a couple more photos from inside some shops, and the little envelope came with a piece of notepaper to go inside, so I was trying to see how that would work, or if I should go more muted because the yellow is so strong. In the end, I take a piece from one of the memo pads, and although I'm using it upside down, I really didn't want to cover that lovely little graphic. So the writing is upside down, but I don't think that matters. I preferred the way that it looked. So in the end, I feel like I did crack this layout because I decided to put the envelope on its side and actually use it to hold some extra photos. I was struggling to find a way to make all the photos work on the spread, and I actually decided to make it into like a tip-in. So once I eventually worked this out, I feel like my decision making was a lot easier. Sometimes it does feel like you're battling with the layout, and sometimes you just need that idea to know that that's what you want to do, and that's definitely what happened here. I secured that they're kind of overlapping the Momo pad paper, but not too much, and I secured that with washi, and then I used the same washi over on the bottom left just to tie it all together, and a little circle sticker just to keep the envelope flat from being open all the time. And then I'm putting some photos underneath, as well as some gashapon packaging, and embellishing the rest of the spread with some stickers. I really loved popping these around, and I did want this journal to be very full and lots of different elements and tiny little tidbits that you can see around. And so I definitely want to fill all the little spaces in this journal, and if you've seen some of my previous videos in this journal series, or at the end when I do a little flip through, you'll see that it really adds a lot of energy to this journal, and I'm really happy with how it's turning out, and I think all these little quirky bits definitely help with that. So I'm adding on some of the floral washi tape and then looking through my sticker album just to find some final little bits to finish off some of those empty gaps. I'm using these circle stickers just to add more colour, and I think that works really well because there are other circle elements on the page. And then I will be filling in the left hand side and underneath the envelope with some journaling as well off camera. So now onto the second spread, which came together a lot quicker than that first one. I think mostly because I was using this really large background element, and that made it pretty simple. I didn't need to fill the spread with a load of different elements and work out how to layer them and make that work, because half of this spread is basically this wonderful image. And because it has the cherry blossom on there, I thought I would use our photos that we took under the plum blossom trees. So when we went to Tokyo, at the time the cherry blossom season hadn't started, but the plum blossom was out. And the plum blossom is a lot pinker than the traditional cherry blossom photos that you might see. So I'm just going through my washi stash now to find some washi tape that would work. I had a few pink ones, and I did have this specific Sakura one, but I found that it was just too pink, and I didn't want it to be super girly. So that's why I went with this like off salmon, kind of orange striped one. I think that just worked really nicely. It wasn't too in your face, and I think it balanced nicely with the rest of the spread. And then I'm putting some of our photos and using these letter stickers to write out Plum Blossom there at the bottom. This is quite a simple spread. The pink piece of paper behind on this page is actually from some packaging from a paintbrush that I bought out there. But again, I thought that tied in really nicely. It was the perfect pink to match with the tree blossom on the graphic image on the right. And then I'm using some Sakura stickers that I bought in Daiso just around the page. I did keep this little stamp piece out because I thought it tied in nicely, but I couldn't get it to work, so I just stuck it on another page in the journal. So here's a very quick and speedy flip through of how the journal's looking so far, with all the different tip-ins, and I definitely want to keep going with this vibe. I want to add things that make it really interactive, and like hidden journaling spots and loads of spaces for my stickers. But like I said, I'm really pleased with how this is turning out, and this journal is definitely going to be a focus for me this year, so I hope you're enjoying watching the process videos. Now I'm just going to show you some close-ups of how the final journal pages looked, and a closer look at all the little details that I added. Inside that envelope is just another receipt and some more photos, but I think that worked really nicely and I'm really pleased I did that, as well as giving me more space to journal on the other side of the envelope. And then the next page is a lot more simple, but there's a lot of space there at the top for me to write about our little photo shoot here in the plum blossom trees. And I think although this one is simple, I think it's really effective and it's not too overtly in your face. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully there will be some more Japan journaling videos to come in the future. I hope you have a lovely week, and I will speak to you all soon. See you later.